Good afternoon, everybody. This is Julia from Julia's Palette Studio. Wanting to wish you guys a wonderful Wednesday today. I accidentally burned my face yesterday, a chemical burn on a new skincare product that I tried out, and unfortunately I had to call in to work. I would have done a nice greeting with my face, but it blistered, and so my face is not that good to look at right now. I've got goopy ointment on it, and not pretty. So I decided just to do this without giving you a face shot. I am working on finishing this up today, this painting, and this is a watercolor, floral watercolor that I've been working on. I want to say laboring over. Well, this is a little complicated for me. I don't really do much of these. I tend to get lost in all the flowers. That's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but I'm going to finish it up. This is a watercolor board by Ampersand. Some people love it, some people hate it. I have mixed feelings about it. In some regards, I really like it. I like the fact that this one is the cradled board. So actually you just paint the sides, finish off the sides, and then you don't need to put a frame on it because you can put an archival coating on the top either by using a varnish or cold wax, which I love, or a combination of both. And that way, the cold wax is nice because once it's fully cured, you just take a nice cloth and clean it off. There's no need for glass. So there's a lot of things about that that's really positive. Saves on framing for sure, especially if you're showing your pieces or you want to make it more affordable for somebody to collect, which is a great thing about this AquaBoard, especially the cradled. You can get just the board, which is just a thinner board, but then that would require a frame. So this cradled version is really nice because it's like 2-in-1. You have your framed version and your painting. Let's see if I can move that up a little bit for you. There we go. I took this photograph a long time ago at a place up north that I used to frequent every year, and it just kind of sat there. I knew I wanted to paint it. I started it once on a piece of watercolor paper, but the paper was not a great piece of paper. The sizing on it had gone away, so it didn't cooperate like it should have when you applied the paint. So I gave up on that, and then I had purchased these AquaBoards and decided I would start the painting again and do it on this board. So I'm just cleaning off this butcher tray palette a little bit. I love these, especially this exact type because it's totally flat. There's a lot of butcher trays that people sell, but they have a higher center and it slopes down to the sides, and when you use those, your paint doesn't stay. It just kind of gravitates towards all the four corners, and I don't like that. I like to mix my paint on a totally flat surface, and I love this enamel because it's so easy to clean. It doesn't stain. I just love it. Anyway, so the other great benefit about this board is that you can scratch into it You can lift things out with your brush and water, but you can also scratch into it a lot. I mean, you have to be careful, but it's better than some papers. Now I'm going to take, when I paint, I always keep my most recent brushes in this little container here. This had a candle in it, but I kept it because I love this kind of glass, first of all. But it's a handy little, not so little, but it's handy for me to keep the brushes that I'm currently using right by my side here. Brushes, pencils, my scrubbers, things like that are right there. And I got my testing paper here, which I always use when I mix colors. I always test it out on the testing paper first to see if that's actually the color that I want to use. So in this photograph, there's these little tendrils. I mean, mind you, there's these little tendrils that are coming out from the flowers. I am not painting an exact replica of these photographs. It's just what I kind of picked out of it, what I liked. So, I mean, if you see something in the photograph that's not in my painting, or something in my painting that's not in the photograph, that's why. So I'm going to start, I think right now, I think I've done a lot of the lifting that I want to do. There's a little bit right here I want to get at. And I might actually, I lifted it yesterday, but I might actually have to lift a little more and maybe scratch out a little bit. But I got my little handy dandy little teeny weeny scrubber here. And there's a real strong white highlight, which is right there from the reflection of the glass. So I dip it in water, tap, and then just kind of move it slowly. And then I'm going to see. Yeah, I might have to just scrape some of that out to get to the pure white surface. There we go. It looks a little yellow sometimes when this gets wet. Changes color. It's not white, but when it dries, it goes back to white. And then there's a little bit right in here that I see just reflecting, or just out of that. Let's lift that a little bit. I'm going to have to lift it a little more. Just it goes like that. I want to give the illusion of reflective glass. And that's what I'm working on here. That's what you see here. These are reflecting from the handle. These are great to get. This one is by, I can't read it anymore. I know Cheap Joe's has these. They're called Cheap Joe's Scrubbers. And I've bought some before at Hobby Lobby. They come in different sizes. I'll show you. So these are some different ones. And I love them all. Each one has its own purpose. But these are the different sizes here. If you have to, this one is by Master's Touch. That's a Hobby Lobby one. This one is a Cheap Joe's Fritch right here. That's a Fritch brush by Cheap Joe's. Some of them have a pointed tip. Some of them are just flat. Let me see if I can find another scrubber by Cheap Joe's. I got lots. Yeah, here's another one. And that's kind of nice because you can pick out detail. That's a Cheap Joe's scrubber as well. Love Cheap Joe's. Great, great place. When I was in North Carolina a year and a half ago, I wanted to go there so bad, just to see it in Boone's, North Carolina, but unfortunately plans changed quickly and I was not able to go. But someday I'm going to get there. Anyway, that's what these are, in case you're curious. You can use these on paper and on the AquaBoard, but just remember, keep in mind that if you use them, you got it on paper especially, you can ruin the surface of your paper if you scrub too hard, so you got to go easy on it. So let's see what I want to do. I want to get those little tendrils in there, and I want to be able to, so this is going to go off the page, actually. This is going to go off the page, so this is going to start, let's start it right here. I'm going to start it right here. So I'm going to start scraping. Let's just start scraping. I probably should use a newer blade. And I'm going to hoping I'm getting this right. Continue the line. This, I don't really want to go in front of it, but I could. No, I want to. Decisions. This is like a little, there's quite a few of them here. They all kind of go from this. It's like these little pretty feathery tendrils that come out from this flower. And they're kind of curly. So I'm going to make one a little curly if I can. You can get really fine detail lifting out with this. I'm just going to start making these marks. And they're not just in one spot, they're in a couple different spots. It's always good when you're doing a composition. Keep this in mind. It's always good to go off the canvas, off the paper, off the plane. I mean, you don't want something to fit perfectly in this little box. It's just, you get these wonderful negative shapes when you go off. These create a lot of interest, more interest. It makes it more of an interesting composition when you do that. And sometimes the negative shapes are quite lovely. This, I can't say that this negative shape is lovely, but it's definitely, it makes the composition more interesting. Let's just put it that way. And you can get as complicated as you want. Negative painting, negative spaces can be very dynamic in a composition. You want to keep the viewer's eye, when you're creating a composition, keep in mind you want the viewer to look at your work and travel inside of it. You don't want them to look at it and then have their eye go off. You want to keep the viewer interested in your work. You want to lead them in and lead them out. So, just you can do it by the diagonals you choose. Like just to give you an example, this, you're coming in here, and actually these will take you out that way off the canvas, off the panel, and out of your painting. You want to kind of make it to keep their eye going in and out. So keep that in mind when you're, I have other compositions where that's more obvious than this one. But keep that in mind. That'll keep the person who's looking at your painting engaged. And that's what you want. You want to keep them engaged. You don't want them to leave. You want it so that you make them so excited and so involved in what they're looking at, or they just want to see more and keep and stay there. And you can do that with a real simple composition or a complicated one. Doesn't matter. It's just how you plan it, how you place your lines, your mark making, your values. That'll do it. All different ways to do that in your composition. Yep. Alright, so I'm starting here. Do that. And see them, let's see them coming out right here. Mm-hmm. Not really sure what flower this is coming from, but I see it, so I'm going to add it. And I'm going to go back in once I get these scraped out. I am going to go back in and add some pigment, add some watercolor to it. Yep, I am. This one is going to go like this. And then there's another one that goes like, I don't have the exact. Sorry if that noise is annoying to you. I have another blade I can use, but I don't care for the shape of it. Actually, I'm going to turn this a little bit because I want to come down here. I want them to intersect. One is longer than the other. And this won't go off. This is actually etching into the claymore, so you do have to, for the surface of this, you do have to be careful. And there's another little one. coming down out of there. Right there. There. Okay. Now, I am going to etch just a little bit in here. Get that white. And I did it there as well. You gotta be careful. Okay. Let that dry a little bit more. Okay, now, let's see, do I need to do any more? Yes, I do. Okay, so. Let's do it this way. It's easier to pull down like this. It's much easier to pull down. Let's see. And I'm going to actually turn my we have like little stamens on these right here, almost like the ones that you see on a lily. Right there. And I'm not doing it for exact detail. I just want, this is shaking too much. I'm just trying to create a suggestion back here. Let's see. I see another one right there. Like that. Another one goes like that. So this is working on the AquaBoard. I do plan on sealing this. I think I'm going to use cold wax and the spray varnish. I think I'll put just a coat of spray varnish first and then the cold wax on top. I've done that before and it's absolutely stunning. The other thing that's nice is that when you do that, it really brings out the color of your painting. It really just makes it so vibrant. I don't know why, but it just adds this incredible luminosity and vibrancy to it. Oops, right there. Get excited, I lost track. All right, let's see. I think this one needs, I'm not meaning to bore you guys. I just I'm going to put this on pause and then I'll continue so that I don't like totally bore you guys with this. Gosh, do not want to do that. So Let's put this on pause and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the color that I see in those feathery tendrils. And I see like a fiery fuchsia orange red kind of thing going on. So I'm going to take some scarlet, cadmium scarlet, and I'm going to put it there. Okay. And I'm going to take some quinacridone scarlet. Let's see if that's the one I'm thinking of right here. Phthalo crimson. Let me see. Let's see. What is this one? That is, there we go. Phthalo crimson by Grumbacher. It's a gorgeous color. I discovered it in some of my older paints that I found. And I actually absolutely love this color. It reminds me kind of a permanent rose. And I'm going to take some opera, Holbein opera. One of my absolute go-to favorites. I use this color all the time. You have to be careful though because it is it's not a permanent. It's sort of fugitive. So if you need to mix it with another permanent color. Otherwise, if you just put it on by itself, it's gonna not retain. It's gonna fade. Not completely, but it will fade. So I only use it in mixing, really. I don't use it straight. I don't really ever use anything straight out of the tube. Actually, so these tendrils I'm seeing, I like to mix these two together right here. So I'm going to do this and actually just mix these two right here like that. So this is such a beautiful color, so watch. Look at that color. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that is such a beautiful color. Okay. But I also see this color straight, but I don't want to use it straight. I see that color in there. Let's see what happens if I mix this one with this one. Let's mix these two together. Who knows, it might look the same. They're pretty close. Pretty close, so we'll see. I think I had more red in that. Yeah, let's just add a little bit more. Let's see what happens. It's close. This one is deeper. I'm mixing this quinacridone phthalo crimson with the scarlet. They're all beautiful. Absolutely. So, okay, I've got those mixed up. And I'm going to take a liner, script brush. Pardon the traffic noise. I kind of live right now in a fishbowl. I live on the corner of a busy street. And I hear that a lot. So, let's see. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to take my, blot it. And I paint that in. Well, I'm not seeing that brilliant color. So I'm going to put a little more on there. There we go. And I see just scarlet coming out of there. That works. I like that. And I should have my reading glasses on, but I don't. Okay. And let's take some of this. And I'm gonna leave some white showing. Highlight. And that's that little pistol that we saw, right? This added interest, I like that. I do. So now for this curvy one, I'll leave it right on the top, right there. Actually, that one has more scarlet showing. Well, I'm going to add scarlet to it. Bring that red out. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yep. I like that punch. Yep. Like that punch. There. Just put a little bit right there. Oops. There. Okay. And what's interesting on the other ones, I don't see quite as much of the red. I see a little pink and then I see green. So I'm going to add that color. See that? Then I see a green. So I'm going to do this, let it dry. And this one just has a red tip. That one just has a red tip. Let's see, that one. I still have the green left over. I'm going to add this one. Let's add some yellow. I'm going to add some bismuth yellow. It's a real cool yellow. Very cool. Sort of like a lemon yellow, but it has a different color to it. I mean, it's a cooler. It's not as warm. Okay, guys. Well, you get the picture. I don't want to completely bore you with this. I just wanted to give you a heads up of the finished piece. I am going to be starting classes. The only thing I have to decide is whether or not they are going to be Zoom classes or recorded sessions that you can watch at your own leisure. So if you have any preference, just by any means, let me know. I'd love to have you join me. They are going to be on Tuesdays, and I'm going to try and offer a morning class and an evening class, not on Tuesdays, but a daytime class on Tuesdays. I said morning, but it could very well be in the afternoon. but I am going to be putting on some classes, and I'm going to start those in May. So if you are interested, by all means, get a hold of me. I have an email address at juliaspalettstudio@gmail.com. Again, it's juliaspalettstudio@gmail.com. If you are interested in classes with yours truly, absolutely drop me a line, and I will put you on my mailing list so that you are notified. And it's going to be, the first one is going to be a beginning watercolor class. For all of you who have wanted to try it, I'm going to start off with a floral painting, not like this, just a couple flowers, not anything like this at all. Just pretty much straightforward, a couple of flowers, and so it won't totally shock you and scare you away. It'll be really nice, and I'll go through the basics of learning how to work with the water, preparing your paper, the materials you're going to need, what I like to use, what I recommend, how to mix color with a limited palette, how many colors you can get. It's amazing. All kinds of great things, and some techniques that you can use to create visual effects and textures. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. I will be posting this finished online, so make sure to check it out. Again, thank you guys. This is Julia's Palette Studio. Julia, my name is Julia Dufault McGrath, and I am very, very happy that you joined me today to watch this. And God bless you. I will talk to you again soon. And in the meantime, have a very blessed day today and always, of course. So take care, everybody. Love you guys.